Hello there, I'm MapleDungeons, and today we're going to be talking about a little game that goes by the name of Bloodlust Shadowhunter. This is the demo version that I'm playing, and it's a third-person action RPG, which is currently sitting on Steam Greenlight. The game obviously has influence in some older RPGs, such as Vampire the Masquerade, and it looks good so far. The gameplay seems to involve a lot of solving puzzles as well as a lot of combat. You play as a vampire. In the demo here, you seem to be waking up in a bunch of ruins. You're newly awoken and you are figuring stuff out about how you became a vampire and what you need to do next. The demo is of a reasonable length, and it seems like the full game will have quite a bit of potential so far. The abilities available to you are interesting as of yet. There are a few of them that are combat-based, and an interesting one is the bite skill, which will cure your thirst for blood as a vampire. But so far I have not come across any humans in which I can use the bite skill, so I can't really show that off. But it seems to be quite the cool part of the game, considering it is a game about vampires. The most interesting ability I have found so far, though, is the way you can send a little ball to either scout stuff out for you, or to activate switches and levers if you want. All that leads to some unique ways of solving puzzles. I can see puzzles being quite a big part of the game, which isn't something I care too much for, but it's not something I mind hugely depending on what kind of puzzles they are, and the kinds of rewards they'll offer. Personally, I'm hoping it goes for more of a route where those kind of things will happen more occasionally, and there'll be a large focus on exploration, character building, and some combat. Speaking of combat, the combat itself seems responsive enough, with enough action thrown in for people that need that, while still focusing mainly on the RPG elements. Unfortunately, while melee combat is quite alright, the range system seems to be not exactly so. The aiming is kind of off, the whole shooting itself just doesn't go off sometimes, even if you do have ammo, and so far I've seemed to run out of ammo quick. So if you're going to be playing the demo, or even playing the game in the future if they don't fix it, I would kind of recommend going with the warrior class. I'll get into the classes in a second, but I wouldn't focus on something ranged in the game's current state, and I hope that does get fixed and improved in the future. What I have not got to in the demo at all is the part promised more about joining different clans and such, which is probably something that will happen more in the late game, and which very much appeals to me. The whole politics aspect, it would involve discussion as well as deceit as much as it does combat. There has been a few NPCs that you can talk to so far that I've seen, but I haven't seen any kind of dialogue choices yet. Just some basic, who are you, what's my quest kind of deal dialogue. Anyway, the game seems to have, so far, pretty good customization. Once the ranged class is kind of fixed up, there's currently 3 classes. There's the warrior, there's the witch, and there is the criminal, which starts with that bow, as I mentioned, not working very well. These classes all start with different abilities, and they can be extended to offer even more abilities, different options of abilities. There is a talent tree, which is your average kind of talent tree, just spec into different options. So you have your stats, you have your talent tree, and you have your abilities that you can spec into to differentiate your character as well as suit your playstyle, which is ideal in an RPG such as this. The other thing that you can do to extend customization of your characters is equip them with different items. So far, from what I've seen, the items are pretty randomized, so that is going to lead to a different array of builds with different items and different stats and different kinds of weapons and things like that. Now, the game isn't perfect. I feel like the lighting can be off a little bit, and in my last playthrough the camera was kind of buggy. I'm sure there's obviously some more balancing to be done before the full release, but other than that, the game, while a little rough around the edges, seems to have a great deal of potential, and is something that I don't think we've really seen done properly for quite a while. I'll link below to where you can try out the demo of the game, and I'll link to the Greenlight page where you can go vote to get this game on Steam. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this and would like to see more, you can subscribe to the channel and you can let me know. I've been MapleDungeons, and I'll see you next time.